that we talked about a pre-workshop that we had on day one. So the reason why we kind of had it was because we had a mentorship program with Langit, and they asked us, okay, what is actually the vision and the dream of the community, so that we can align the marketing to that vision. And we actually didn't know, like really clearly didn't really know what the actual vision and dream was for each of the kampungs, especially since we got 2 more kampungs who just joined in this phase. So we wanted clarity, we didn't have clarity, and that's why we had this workshop. So we had this workshop, we gathered the community. So we had 2 workshops happening simultaneously. So one in Kampung Tinuhan and Lapasan. Noel was facilitating that, and then I was at Kampung Timba and Wangkot. So there was 2 workshops going on at the same time. It was a total of almost 70 communities. So this is the result of 70 communities' vision and dream and aspirations. So when we started the workshop, we really thought about the future. What was the vision? What was the dream? What is the future that you want for yourself, for your family, and for your kampong? That was the question that we posed to them. And also, what if the project doesn't continue? What would you like to see continue? Yeah, and so that was the kind of question we put out. And so we started by first, if some of you have gone through the facilitating workshop, we had this one methodology called appreciative inquiry. So we did use that in the beginning. And so one of the first things we started to do was to ask the communities, okay, some of you have been with the project for a year plus, some of you are new, and you have experience with the project, and what are things that we're appreciating? What are things that we can acknowledge? Apa yang perlu dihargai, yang boleh kami mengiktiraf, and what can we, what have we done that we can celebrate? So that was how we started the questions. And so we had 2 sessions, right? So this one here with the pictures is from Kampung Tinuhan and Kampung Lapasan. So Agang maybe can walk us through this for a couple minutes. This one? Yeah, this one here. So if everybody just wants to look at this picture here, this too. The one with this drawing.
Okay, selamat pagi semua. Saya Agang. Ini apa yang kami dapat di Kampung Tinuhan dan juga gabungan antara Kampung Tinuhan dan juga Lapasan. Ini dia punya soalan untuk itu community, apa yang mereka dapat dari ini project Padi. Jadi ini apa yang mereka gambarkan yang sudah mereka perolehi daripada apa yang sudah dijalankan di lapangan masing-masing. Dan saya lebih suka kasih tahu yang tuna dulu. Nanti ini gambar sekejap dulu. Di sana dorang boleh mengetahui macam mana buat baja melalui kitchen waste, IMAS, FEE, dan di sini juga kamu nampak ada di sini dorang boleh jual beras, dan di sini ada sekam padi bakar. Ini adalah salah satu apa yang mereka mengikuti dari bengkel-bengkel yang sudah dijalankan oleh Projek Padi lah. Dan apa yang kita nampak di sini, ya saya suka cerita tentang ini gambar. Dan yang di sini ini dulu dia tanam tradisi. Dan sekarang apabila orang sudah kenal apa ini SRI, dan orang aplikasikan dalam penanaman padi orang, di sinilah penanaman padi SRI tahun 2020. Oke. Di sini pula Selepas Poreba Sabah masuk dan membantu community di dalam penanaman padi, dorang dapat pagar kawasan sawah dorang, dan sebelum ini dorang punya sawah padi kurang pagar, itulah selalu kerbau masuk keluar masuk. Oke, dan kenapa ada gambar kerbau di sini? Itu kerbau tidak sudah dapat masuk di sawah lah. Oke, macam tuh. Dan kenapa ada gambar ikan di sini? Di sini dorang aplikasikan apa yang sudah dorang belajar, apa yang ditekankan di sini dalam projek padi, penanaman secara SRI dan juga organik. So, dorang kasih tinggal itu kimia dan dorang guna baja organik. Itulah apa yang dorang guna kitchen waste, IMAS, FEE dan juga sekam padi bakar. So, adalah ikan di sini berenang-berenang, ada katak di sini. Dia bilang sini tadi ini apa? Ini tukang lukis, dia tidak berapa pakar lah. Saya ban yang lukis. Oke. Oke, di sini ada kita nampak kesatuan community. Dorang buat ini pagar bukan individu. Dia adalah semua community, termasuklah penternak kerbau pun ada bekerja sama dengan dorang buat ini pagar.
Sebelum saya pergi kampung Wangkot dan Timbau, untuk pengetahuan anda, kalau kamu tengok sini ada colorful kan, sebenarnya dia bukan dilukis oleh satu orang. Satu community dia lukis gunung, lepas tu datang lagi community satu dia lukis ini sawah padi, datang lagi yang satu dia lukis pagar ini. Jadi kesimpulan daripada lukisan ini adalah mereka bersatu ke arah yang lebih sehatlah mesra alam. Itu dia punya dapatan daripada mereka punya lukisan inilah. Dan apa yang berlaku di Wangkot dan Timbau pula, mereka agak pemalu sedikit. Jadi dorang tiada lukis, dorang cuma sampaikan melalui perkataan. Jadi dalam empat kertas ni, ini adalah penghargaan yang mereka sampaikanlah. Kalau kita berpulang nanti kita akan baca untuk keempat ni, dia lebih kepada macam semangat, tidak bergantung kepada mesin. Ini adalah luahan isi hati mereka sendiri tanpa dipengaruhi oleh sesiapa. Dan nanti kita akan ada peluang untuk round lah. Untuk ini 4 adalah mereka punya penghargaan. Dan kalau Tinuhan punya 2 paper ni nah, 1 dan depan.
For the picture, macam mana itu gambar terjadi semasa itu program. So dalam community bukan semua dapat menulis, ada juga malu menulis, tapi apa yang semasa menolong Projek Padi untuk facilitate itu sesi di sana, kami try promote yang kalau tidak confident menulis ayat, boleh gunakan lukisan. So the first one yang letak itu gambar adalah, I forgot siapa nama dia. Dia letak satu lukisan, and then it grew from one drawing, one piece of scribble on the white paper, and whereas the rest akan letak macam ayat, and then they just will move into like one spot. These 2 papers is actually one table. Yeah, so that's how that picture came into life.
Yes, so that was our first step of appreciating during the workshop. So after we appreciated what is and what was, then we asked the communities, what is your dream? What is your dream for yourself as an individual, for your family, for your kampong? What is the dream? So we wanted them to, so I had a few guiding questions. So the questions were, what is the potential that you can imagine for the future that we can all shape as a community? Apakah potensi kalau kamu boleh imagine pada masa depan yang kita boleh semua bersama-sama membentukkan sebagai satu community? What is the potential that you can imagine for your future? So, using all the strengths that we have laid out in the first step in appreciating, how can we take that and dream? What is our dream if we look at all of the things that we're good at, the things that we have? What can we realize together? So that was the dreaming session. So we had other flip charts, and so they wrote down all their dreams. So those flip charts aren't here. These are the distilled versions. So after we asked them, what is your dream, and everybody contributed. They either wrote down their dreams, or we gave them post-it notes. They stuck on their dreams on the post-its, or some of the team, they helped them write because some of them couldn't write. And so after we asked them what the dream was, the third step was to design. So with our dream, right, what can we, and then, sorry, 1 second.
Clustering.
Yeah. So then, can you remind me what we did?
Clustering.
After we dreamt, we clustered.
Yeah.
Okay, we clustered our dreams. Yes, I remember now. Okay, sorry. So all our dreams, we put it all on one big kind of sheet, and then we clustered it to see what themes we had, right? And then so within each theme, the next step was to design, which within each theme, to design what would be the strategy within that. How do we make it happen? That was the question. So people could write down how they see the dream happening, how to realize the dream, what sort of strategy was needed, whose help we needed. And that was the design part. And then after that, we also asked them to think about delivering. That was the fourth step. So we have a strategy. So what are the actions that we need to make it happen? What are the actionable next step actions to make it happen? So that was delivering. So after we clustered, we broke the communities into groups. So each community we didn't break the communities into groups. We opened different stalls. So each theme had a kind of section they can sit at and contribute. So the communities can move around with, let's say, we had 5 themes, so they can move around the 5 themes and give their contribution to each theme for them to voice out what they see the strategy of realizing that dream is and what the actions needed to realize that dream is. So the communities went around like that for like 20-30 minutes. So they contributed to each theme. They contributed how to design, how to deliver. And so that's so kind of like the concept of the tamu. You have different stalls, you visit each tamu and give your contribution. So that was that. And so from that, this is what you see in front of you, where each of these have themes. Like kemudahan and infrastructure is one theme, and then where else I can't read. I think there's a marketing, that's one theme, eco pelancongan, that's one theme. So here are 9 themes altogether. I think there's 5 from Kampung Tinuhan and Kampung Angkor, and 4 from Lapasan and Tinuhan. So maybe Chippa can walk through some of the themes.
Okay.
So each one, basically, it's already distilled. Sorry. So there's the vision. The post-its are the dreams that they put on. And then the vision that we kind of try to refine as a sentence or something more distilled, and then the strategy, and then what are the goals and what are the actions. So each one should have a vision, a strategy, goals, and action, more or less. So these are all really raw, so these are all words from the community. None of this is edited, and so you may, yeah.
Pada yang tidak paham
Sorry.
segala itu ada yang perlu translation.
That okay.
Saya tidak nampak anggokan ataupun gadangan.
Yeah. Okay. So this is kind of like the sort of nicer version from that day. After we have this, each person from the Padi team sort of presented back to the community. Okay, so this is what we came up collectively, and we presented it back to them then. So, yep. Maybe Chipper, you want to walk us through
Oke.
some?
Kalau kita lihat di sini kan, kalau kita lihat di Timbau dan Wangkod ada 5.
So maybe everybody can
Yeah.
kind of walk together.
Yep.
So we see each one. So we're
Kalau kamu tengok nih, ini adalah satu topik kemudahan dan infrastruktur, pemasaran, pendidikan, pelancongan, dan apa paling ujung tuh? Sara hidup. Jadi ada 5 kategori lah, yang 5 kedai yang kami buka saat itu. And then tugasan yang kami berikan kepada mereka adalah apakah visi, strategi, matlamat, dan langkah-langkah yang dihadapi. Jadi kalau kita tengok sini kemudahan dan infrastruktur, ini dia punya visi, dia punya strategi, kamu boleh baca, dan langkah-langkah untuk mencapai ini perkara lah. Manakala ini pemasaran, dia 1 page saja di sini. Kita boleh tengok dia punya misi, dia punya objektif, dan apa dia punya step. Macam mana dia mau buat itu bahagian pemasaran. Dan di sini ada pendidikan. Pendidikan juga sama juga objektif dia, strategi, dan apa langkah-langkah dia. Ada yang mau bina bangunan, library gitu. Banyaklah. Nanti kamu akan baca ikut dia punya ni lah. Ini dengan tu. Ini satu. Untuk pelancongan pula, dia ada apa potensi yang boleh boleh buat pelancongan di kampung mereka. Jadi ini adalah dia punya aktiviti lah yang mereka fikir. And then apa matlamat mengadakan pelancongan di tempat mereka, ada beberapa matlamat dan macam mana mereka buat. Mereka perlu training, mereka perlu pelan, dana, dan sebagainya. Ini adalah community punya inilah hasil dapatan. Dan di sini sara hidup pula, sama juga sara hidup pun kita akan lihat dia punya visi, strategi dia macam mana, objektif dia, langkah-langkah. Jadi harap kamu pandai baca lah ni ya. Ini 1, ini 3, ini 1, ini 2. Ini untuk kampung Wangkod Tinuan. Timbau Wangkod.
So this top right here, one of the themes they came up with was promotion and marketing. So you can look at what their vision here is, their strategy, and their action. Maybe take a moment. They want to identify Padi yang famous. There's things about having a consistent pricing, having labeling. So you can kind of read that one.
During the dreaming session, they give a lot of, if you see the other side, they got all the post-its. They have post-its here as well. So when the dreaming and then when the clustering came, it became like the promotion and marketing, it became one. They relate promotion and marketing. And then being organic and health is grouped as one as well. What was the other?
And this down here. That one's penglibatan and kerjasama is one theme.
Penglibatan, involvement, and cooperation. And then the other one was facility and product. So in the promotion and marketing is how they promote the rice out. What is the strategy and action they use to promote, and then there's the vision as well that thought of. And organic and health is because it's organic, it relates to the health. For it also relates in the promotion, and actually all it correlates to each other.
The first time, I don't know if you remember Chipa's graph, but they sold all their rice and then they got like 20, 30 some thousand. So that was an effort that Leap Social took. So Leap Social bought all of their rices, and it was a pretty high price. And so basically they managed to sell everything at a really good price, and they're wanting to continue that. Hopefully that gave you some insight into what we've done. And the reason why it's all on the floor, you see all the hearts and the post-its, is because we don't want to lose some of the nuances that was said in here. That's what we wanted to be really careful about, because we want to take all of this and distill this into this roadmap that really reflects what the community wants. So we haven't quite been able to get to that step yet. That's what we're here to do today. But we did try. So if you see on these flip charts, there are lots of stickers, like the blue stickers, orange stickers, and yellow stickers. So this process during the workshop was pretty messy. Some people didn't know. Some people were confused. What was a vision? What was a dream? What was a strategy? What was a goal? What was an action? And all these types of words. So everything just got kind of dumped on here. And so what the Project Padi tried to do, was we tried to cluster them. You know, what are visions? What were the strategies? What were the actions? And what were the goals? So that's what the sticker is. That was our attempt to try to organize all of this information. So we tried our best to organize all of this information, and that's how we got to all the things you see on the wall. So for example here, these are all the visions and the dreams that we identified from this really raw data. And so within all the items that look like vision and dreams, we clustered them. So this was our attempt. So there was a lot of desire to be famous. There was a lot of desire to be popular and wanting everybody to jatuh cinta dengan beras tempatan. So that was one of the visions. There was also a lot of desire to be the producer, to export rice, to have no imports, to have enough rice for Sabahans, menjadi pembekal beras berkualiti, pengeluar beras organik SRI. So there was a lot of desire to be a producer. And then also a lot of desire around environmental and health. So making sure that they're growing responsibility, and what we put into the soil is also what we put into our bodies, right? So a lot of emphasis around environment and health in that sense, and taking care of the environment. So there's also a lot of wanting to be we were kind of struggling with to title this forward thinking. I put a question mark there because we weren't sure what to label it, but we kind of grouped all of this together. Basically, they wanted to be successful. They wanted to be petani modern. They didn't want to have masalah keuangan. Penanaman padi berterusan, kemajuan kampung, menjadi petani modern berjaya. There's a lot of that. Bersatu memajukan kampung, di samping menjaga alam sekitar. So there's some desire. I don't know how to explain it. Kind of just be more relevant, I guess. Be successful, be modern, but also kind of keeping the tradition of planting and taking care of the environment. Lastly here, the vision and dream that we clustered was around heritage. So continuing the practice of planting rice and also preserving the cultures around that, preserving the cultures around rice, not just planting rice, but also language and things like that. So this was kind of our vision and dreams that we took from here, and then we clustered again. So that's that. And then we also did one for strategy, which is on this side. So this one we had a lot of clusters. So again, we took all of this here and we put it up there. You could see that we have 9, I believe, strategies to realize our vision. So one of the strategies is to improve infrastructure around in the communities. So you can see that there's desire to have a factory, to have a library, to have telco towers so that they can have internet and access, communication access. They wanted you can see there's need for machinery here, like the processing machineries and things like that. So you would have seen these already from reading them below here. So you can take a closer look later. So there's also on finance, where to find model for money, to start a business, where to find money to start a business. Does that look like applying for help from the government or otherwise? There's also a lot of desire for training, because that's what we did a lot in Project Padi 1.0. We gave them a lot of training around making organic fertilizers and SRI and things like that. So they're wanting that, and they're wanting to continue to upskill beyond just what's in the field, and also wanting to learn more skills around marketing as well, for those who are interested.
Number 2, membantu inisiatif kerajaan. What is inisiatif kerajaan?
Dia banyak ini juga inisiatif kerajaan, tapi saya ambil satu contoh saja. Kalau kita tengok blueprint itu pertanian, di mana dia menyokong petani untuk menanam sawah padi dan bukit. Jadi ada beberapa dia punya training ataupun apa sumbangan kerajaan kepada ni. Jadi kalau kita melakukan aktiviti itu, secara tidak langsung kita membantu ke arah itulah, begitu. Ada lagi contoh lain lagi dalam bidang pertanian, pelancongan. Kerajaan ada inisiatif untuk macam baru-baru dorang fokus kepada di Kundasang area sana untuk homestay, begitu. Jadi kalau orang kampung di sini ada dapat buat seperti itu akan membantulah.
Employment was a big thing, to increase income for their households. Another one was communication. There's a lot of telling of a story here for communication. So, what is the story from the field? How do we document all our traditional processes and share that? How do we share our culture? And preserve our culture that way by communicating. Another theme here was governance. So clearly we need governance to make a dream happen. We need people working together. So that looks like menubuhkan AJK, having tubuhkan persatuan, tubuhkan korporasi. So some desire around that. And then another one is marketing and product. Can't read that word. So here there's some desire around wanting a shop, maybe a korporasi to sell, a mini market, product hiliran, like all this really creative stuff to make skincare from Padi, have a label, have a fixed price, things like that. So these are all around improving the quality of the product also, and having a place for the product to be marketed. And then the next one is methodology. So there was a lot of how here. For example, pertanian tanpa kimia. getting mencari bantuan technical from agencies, luaskan penanaman, and all of these. So you can kind of have a closer look in a moment. So after we came up, so we have the strategy to realize the dream. So what exactly are our goals? Here, we have 5 goals, as you can see from the side. 1 around health, meningkatkan quality kesehatan. So if you see some of these that has like ×2 or ×3, that just means that it's been mentioned like twice or 3 times. So there's more emphasis there. Take that how you will. And there's a lot of desire to improve quality of life. Of course, in the kampong, having food security is part of that. Having less financial problems is one of that. Being able to help their families. Another goal is to level up. There's a lot of kemajuan kampung. Membangunkan masyarakat, kemudahan dan infrastruktur, and things like that. So there's a desire to level up. And then also education. So here they came up with a lot of ideas around education. Having a rumah tradisi. Because a lot of our farmers who came were also mothers. So they really thought about their children as well. So they wanted, parents. Not just mothers, parents, they wanted better education for their children, and they also wanted to preserve their culture of, the Karazan Dusun culture and the language. So there was a desire to kind of preserve that. Mewujudkan college pertanian, supaya celik media sosial melalui telepon computer. So a lot of upskilling here. A place where orang tempatan can have information, so kind of creating a mini library even for them to find resources. And then another goal here is around the environment, really taking care of the environment. Again, what we put in our soil is also what we put in our bodies. And then lastly here we have activities. So activities to sort of make it all happen. So these are activities that they want. So you can see that it's broken down into quite a number. They want more exposure to other more, I wouldn't say, other villages who are maybe doing that are a bit more maju maybe, and they want to learn from them. Exposures to different kind of groups and things like that, just to learn more. Then there's an experiential element. Activity dengan pelancong dan community secara bersemuka tentang pembelajaran baca organik. So creating an experiential experience with outsiders and the kampung people to learn together. Just kind of like what we did yesterday. There's pertanian, so kasih cantik sawah, mendedakan cara penanaman SRI, which we've been doing, and then also more focus on belia. We've heard a lot about our farmers getting older and not a lot of young people are being involved. Activities, other activities, communication, telling our stories, research and development, how do we grow rice more effectively, more productively, documenting and having a resource bank, all the things we've done, all the traditional processes that we still use or have, putting that somewhere. Marketing, having more courses around that. Strategy. So this strategy, membuat perbincangan dengan ketua kampung. So building their own kind of kampung governance within themselves and perhaps together as well. There's that. Strategy, education, and communication. Okay. So, menyebarkan betapa pentingnya penggunaan organik kepada semua orang, mengikuti kursus berkaitan pendidikan, and then there's IT. So a lot of education and upskilling that they want to do. So this is kind of all we tried to do in cluster. So you may feel like some of the items should be somewhere else. that's fine. Like we haven't distilled or changed any of the words so far because we just really want to be careful about capturing the nuances that are here and not forgetting that.